For those of you guys that have been following the channel, this is my 05 LLY, and I haven't been driving it because it's been down for about a month. I found the coolant leak a month ago. Turns out there's a crack in the radiator.
Oh, it's your radiator. Go on underneath that bolt. That's your good dude. Yeah, we would charge you $125 at CNC for that.
So it wasn't like a head gasket issue that we thought, but I still have a feeling I might have to do the head gasket pretty soon, but we'll find out for sure after doing the radiator replacement. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm kind of gonna walk you guys through on how to replace the radiator in case you have to do this on your old truck. First things first, remove the wheel well liner. Ignore this mess. We're gonna redo the rock lights. There's a drain plug right there. So undo the drain plug, let the coolant just flow out to the earth.
You drank a little bit while you're down there.
No, we had a bucket there, and then we kind of spilt some in the driveway. Anyway, after that, well, I guess first things first, you got to remove the cover that's here too. It's all just pop clips, and then there's two 10mm bolts. No, there's four. 1, 2, 3, 4mm bolts.
Top of the shroud right here.
Yep.
And you have pop clips usually on the bottom side right here. So the fan shroud is 2 pieces, which means you don't have to actually get the clutch out for the fan and get it out of the way to get the radiator out. But you can remove the shroud, the top half of the shroud, which is going to allow you access to get the radiator slide it out. But before we get to that point, we still have to disconnect the radiator from the intercooler because they're actually mounted to each other. We have a few things to clear out of the way, right? Intake on that side will give us access to the 2 bolts holding the radiator to the intercooler on that side. Battery on this side will give us access to the other 2 bolts. Obviously there's a bunch of hoses that go to this because you have coolant running to your reservoirs, to your turbo, to all different parts of the engine that come directly out of here, ins and outs on this. There's a few more hoses to remove. We've already took out the top one, right? That's feeding.
Removing that battery, might as well remove this battery too. And I got Optimas right there.
Oh yeah, we could do double upgrade today.
Yeah, so we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. One of the reasons why I upgraded to Optima is, well, these lucky guys that went to SEMA. Optima gave every single SEMA build option to upgrade to their batteries. So obviously, Stan over here upgraded to Optima batteries.
Yep.
And it just kind of happened that Matt's truck, the batteries died on the way to SEMA. Oh shoot, that's the bucket that has a hole in it. Oh my god, I just realized. I just realized that.
We need a bucket for a bucket now.
We went to the dealership, they want to warranty it obviously, but they wanted to do some tests to make sure it actually failed. And we didn't have the time to wait. Last option was going to be having to buy new batteries, but we kind of like waited it out. When we got to SEMA, we were checking in. They were like, hey, we're giving out free Optima batteries. Yeah, so what are the odds?
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, I'm with Optima Battery.
Okay.
We're doing free battery replacement if you're interested. So once you check in, if you want to, just take a hard right over there. We'll swap out the battery for you and give you a tender as well.
I got 2 new Optima batteries for the LLY and then 2 new Optima batteries for the L5. And these are old batteries. I know these are good AC Delco batteries, but these are old. I've had this truck for about 3 years, and the previous owners probably had them for a while. So it's probably about time for new batteries. So it's a good thing that we're upgrading the batteries on this because I'm about to add like 50 rock lights on this too. Slowly making progress. We removed the intake box here, which is fairly simple, just 3 10mm bolts. And then after that, I'm pretty sure we got to remove this bracket right here, which is nothing but, I think it looks like three bolts holding it. So after that, we probably have to do the same thing on this side. And then the last thing we're going to do is take this battery out. Just like that. Easy.
Smile more when you come by. Smile more when I see you. Smile more when the sun shines bright. Believe me, I need you. Smile more when you blow me up. Smile more when I see your face. Smile more when I feel love. Smile less when I need to let go. Let go. Smile less when I let go. But you know I won't fall. Smile more when I see you. Smile less when I miss you. No, I don't wanna be left alone.
Alright, so the instruction says remove 1 fitting at a time, and that's because if you remove both,
transcooler flops around inside of here.
You could potentially lose this, or I don't know.
Well, the biggest thing is not losing it, is now you have to try to figure out a way to get that lined up and get the fitting back in there. So if you take one fitting out at a time, it'll keep it in the right position. Get one in, then take the other one out. If you take both at the same time, bam, now
how are you gonna
get that lined up?
Get that line on there. You're gonna have to figure out a way to go this way or something to
Try to hold it.
But that's why that you do it one at a time. And I'm glad I watched videos and read the instructions, because had I not, I probably would have done the same thing, to be honest.
Now this is the old radiator, so we don't care.
And trashed. I mean, look how dirty this thing is. This is I mean, obviously my truck's an 05 stock radiator. Yeah.
But the thing is, even that dirty, it wasn't overheating for that
No,
fast.
not at all.
The issue was
it was leaking.
Plastic, unfortunately, has a big hairline fracture, and of course, once it starts to get hot and expands, that opens up and you start leaking coolant right there in the plastic side. So
the way it was leaking, I thought it was actually a big hole.
Yeah.
It was leaking fast when we were doing a pressure test.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a big hole, the way the coolant was coming out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that it's a small hairline crack that you can hardly see, causing
a little bit of expansion. Spider buddy. So one of the things with the upgraded radiators you see a lot of is like they will get rid of the plastic sides, and they'll actually fabricate this in all aluminum, which is additional heat dissipation. So anywhere that you can get aluminum, get away from weak plastics. Now there's been a lot of advances in plastic manufacturing, so things are a lot stronger now than they used to be in 05. Technology continues to progress, plastics continue to get better, but it will never be superior to just an all aluminum, which is one of the reasons that the price point of more expensive performance radiators like Mishimoto.
So Mishimoto is aluminum.
All aluminum unit, right? And that means no more worrying about plastic cracks. And you get the additional cooling of that aluminum that's dissipating some of that heat out of this side as well before it even hits the auxiliary maintainer.
Cool, we just got done with the radiator install. And you guys can see we put the AC Delco battery back on. Well, that's because the Optima batteries that I ordered, that we got, it is this design, in which I need a side post, and I think it was supposed to come with an adapter, but it didn't, so I'll just have to get an adapter. But for now, I will have to make my AC Delco batteries work. But this truck hasn't been started in like a month or 2 months actually, and I barely drove it before that, so the battery is completely dead. Thanks to Optima, we can actually charge up these dead batteries, and I can start this truck in probably in a couple hours. It's like dead, like my remote won't even unlock the truck. What is it saying with the...
Still analyzing.
Still analyzing?
Like, is there even a battery?
Yeah, it's just, it's so dead, it's taking a while to analyze what's going on. Still? All right, so 10.4, it says 0% right now.
Let's see if we can call that, make it better.
Yeah, it's on super empty. So we'll wait until it's fully charged, and then we'll go ahead and start the truck and just put more coolant in it. But once this truck starts and it idles for a little bit, I'm gonna put more coolant in it.
And if you do the auxiliary maintainer, then you just put that thing in there, and that would be somewhere in here.
Okay.
And then you'd run those to your battery. That way you could keep it running.
Sounds good.
But what's weird is every time I do that, look, it goes up 11.1. So I do this, and it goes analyzing battery.
Yeah.
You go back. That's like it went up from 10.6 to 11.1. I wonder why it won't just go into.
Maybe it needs to have some sort of juice to even.
Yeah, but you
start.
The whole purpose of jump starting, right? You're under power.
Yeah, but this is at 0%. Like literally no juice.
Yeah, but it's just getting like
Like my remote won't even work.
See, and at 11 volts, you should.
Yeah.
You sure your battery, your remote is not dead?
Maybe. And I'm kind of, in a way, converting this into more of my daily, kind of a work truck in a way. Uh-oh, that's not what I want to hear.
No. I thought this was coming out. It never came out.